Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let me see. Connie Bomber! Hey, Connie Bomber. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Hello, Joan Garcia. Okay, I see you're in. Thank you so much for being here. Lydia Washington. Okay. Angela M64, Bunny Rose, Mary H. Okay. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? Those wacky royals. What are they up to now? What are they up to now? Yes, and this is a repurposed thumbnail. I didn't feel like being creative tonight. So, anyway, let's get on with it then. These are from last night. You may have seen those. This was maybe the 2nd of September, I think it was. Anyway, it was in the process of preparing the new local bookstore, which of course is called Godmother's Bookstore. And let's see here. Let me take a I'm gonna just see if there was anything I missed before I started. And no, it was not. I think I'm all up to date. No surprise photos tonight, which, of course, these were the surprise photos last night, just before I went on. Okay. So, all right, nothing. Let me get away from there before I find something. Uh huh. I don't know why that song is stuck in my head. The cats and the cradles and the silver spoons, the little boy blue and the man on the moon. Um, why does that song keep coming to mind? I think I know why. Okay. Beverly McCaskill, thank you so much for 28 months membership. Oh, are you, let me see. Are you unsubscribed? I have to see if I could fix that. John Garcia, 31 months membership, but can't. Really? You still can't comment? But I saw you right here, right? So I can see that. So it seems like you're in, unless that happened before I came on. Well, let me see. I did what I can do on my end of things, but I don't know what else I could possibly do. Um, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, in that case, you just have to wait the 7 days, I think. But I'm so sorry that happened to you. Again, thank you so much for the super chat and the super chat. Okay. You were doing your puzzle and it said that I was unsubscribed. You know, unless there is some type of glitch with the YouTube, I know that they have changed something. Every month they change a little, they tweak a little something with the system. And as a content creator, you get a notification saying this changed or that changed. But if you have unsubscribed yourself, I prefer to use a week's 1 week. Some people do 1 day, but I prefer to do a week to avoid the trolls. So, yeah, please, if you could just be patient for that 7 day period. Whatever you do, try not to unsubscribe yourself because then you have to start all over again. But yeah, I'm so sorry that happened. Hey, Rohini, thank you so much for being here. Hi, Big Mama. Thank you for being here. And I know it wouldn't happen without you. You, without you. And I know. Okay. I'm in a musical mood tonight. There we go. So if you're wondering, Anine Bing, Ula Johnson, Bottega Veneta, Anya Heinmark, Ray-Ban, Cartier, and I don't think I missed anything, did I? But yeah, so that is what our Duchess is wearing. And if you look on the left, you'll notice that I don't know if it's let me see, who made the hat? I don't think it lists the name of the hat. Okay, now when it was the black hat, I think I knew the name of that one, but that was in the past. So I guess it's the same. What do you call the people that make the hats? A cobbler is for shoes, and a milliner is for hats, right? Yeah. She procured her hat likely from the same milliner. God, how do I know that stuff? Wow, that is weird. Hello, Leslie F. Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, so check it out. On one side is, well, when you close this little fun matchbook, it says take what you need. And when you open it, you can grab a matchstick for hugs, love, a hand, calm, a friend, patience, a smile, an ear. There you go. You know what? I'm going to take that ear and I'm going to give it to Aresumayas. Aresumayas, who seems to be lacking an ear. At least if he's looking at you straight on, it always seems like he's missing one. So, yeah, if anybody gets the opportunity, just grab that and hold it for me so I can send it to Russell Myers. That is so cruel. He can't help it. Now, this was for the video that I made earlier. I kind of just cobbled something together that I thought would be interesting based on an article, and the other one is based on a tweet from Dr. Jessica something or other. But yeah, that is something I've done there. Oh wow, a lion and a how cool is that? I have a friend that has a Dotson. I gotta save that video and send it to him. That's that dog that kind of looks like like a little hot dog. Yeah, I'll send that to him. As if I'm not working right now, right? Right. Okay, let me get rid of that. And please make sure you hit the like button. And if you have not grabbed yourself a membership for Royal Sussex, it is still a bargain at just $4.99. There are some that cost more if you feel like you want to do more to support the channel. But either way, I am ever so grateful. Let me see. It's crazy. I checked again and I'm subscribed. Yeah. Well, that is weird. So maybe it's the 7-day thing. I cannot tell right now, but I will look into it later. But thank you so much for your persistence. And again, thank you for the super chat. Okay. Hello, Legs. Thank you so much for being here. So these are the sneak peeks for the up and coming Polo series from our intrepid producer or producers, Harry and Meghan, their Archwell production. These are just a few of the behind the scene images We got a ton of photos at the time. It's hard to believe that there's anything that we haven't seen, but I don't have any video. But it says a little behind the scenes of Polo, the new Netflix docuseries. I really hope they showcase the amazing event put on at Grand Champion Polo Club by Cintabale, ISPS, Honda, and Royal Salute. So, yeah, and just one more little sneak peek there. Look at the power of those animals. Look at the power. I mean, it's just like with the angle of the sun, you can see those muscles. I mean, it takes a lot of muscle memory, but at the same time, it's like a ballet. It almost looks graceful. Hello, B10 Pal. Thank you so much. You're here tonight with us. Now, from those graceful horses to that little rodent of the royal rota rodents, and that, of course, is Richard Eden. Yeah, I have never seen, they always say my tribe, my animal spirit. Well, his animal spirit usually goes scurrying along the baseboards the minute you turn the light on. Yeah, that is his animal spirit. Um, and of course, one of the squatties noticed that he bears a striking resemblance to those little beady eyed rodents, rats, mice, whatever you want to call it. There is that striking resemblance. I mean, you look at him and don't you get the notion of strike? That's why they say striking resemblance, because you look at him and all you can think of is strike, in a figurative way, of course. Yeah, figurative. Okay, so Richard Eden's verdict on Kate Middleton's manipulative film from Palace Insider and Charles Friends, uh, or Charles's friends, and why I'm deeply concerned about this grossly PR strategy, this public relations strategy. You guys, I could not have predicted days ago that so many of these dominoes would fall. But if you notice, they only fall for Kate, never William. William is not allowed to fail. They will leave Kate twisting in the wind, but never William. Kate is not beyond reproach. They will tear her down in a heartbeat. Just like the photo, the Franken photo. Well, William took credit for the photo before it was found out that that photo was just a bunch of bits and pieces and body parts, like the Frankenstein monster. And then all of a sudden, they disassociated that photo from William. And eventually, Kate was the one who apologized. But if you notice, even then, just like with this Kate video, the Royal Rota called out William. And I believe one of the Royal Rotas said that he was not acting as a gentleman by leaving his wife to take the blame. So yeah, this is kind of another example. The tabloid news, tabloid reporters, they're losing their patience with William and Kate, but they don't seem to want to go the extra step by calling them out in the way that they would have in the past. Back in the days when they would never stop talking about how lazy they were, how William needed to grow up. They're not doing that. But this rebuke from Richard Eden and the other columns that call them out just like the book by Omid Scobie, Endgame, these are warnings to the young couple. And I suspect that the warnings are actually coming from Charles and Charles' courtiers. I do believe that that is where the warnings are coming from. It's the only thing that makes sense because otherwise, I don't see why the tabloid media would not just play along like they usually do. But over time, the feelings about that video have soured so much so that it seemed like the next appropriate step was to put a warning out there. In the past, a lot of the criticism of Kate and William was actually coming from the courtiers and coming from the royal family. They were trying to police their behavior to curtail some of their missteps. And of course, because William is so volatile, you dare not say it to his face, but you should leak it in the press. Harry said that they promised that they would not leak and brief against each other through their offices. William, of course, broke that promise. Also, Charles and Camilla, and perhaps anyone else who has interest, although I can't think of anyone else. The Queen is gone, so the leaks about how lazy Kate is seem to have gone with the wind, so to speak. But yeah, these are warnings. These are clear warnings to Will and Kate to straighten up and fly right because you are making a huge, huge mistake with this Hollywood production. Using a filmmaker to convey the simplest of messages in these highly stylized videos is not a smart way to go. So it says here, everyone close to the royal family is delighted that the Princess of Wales has completed her chemotherapy treatment and hopeful that she remains in remission from an unnamed form of cancer. Now, remember, this is the column from that little rat face Richard Eaton from Maureen. But the super slick video that Kensington Palace released on Monday to broadcast the welcome update on her health has divided opinions among courtiers. Remember, I said I believe that it is the courtiers that seem to have the problem. And, well, not just the courtiers, but the courtiers are relaying the message from Charles and Camilla. And let me see, and provoked a scathing backlash from some friends of King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla. No, it's not just friends, it is Charles and Camilla, not their friends. They are trying to disassociate Charles and Camilla from this scathing rebuke to that ridiculous video. Their Majesties haven't yet commented publicly, haven't yet commented on the extraordinary 3-minute film made by Will War and earns most of the money from shooting advertising. I'm sorry, who earns most of his money from shooting advertising campaigns for companies including supermarket giant Tesco and delivery service Uber Eats. It showed Prince William and Catherine frolicking on a beach and in the woods in Norfolk with their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. You guys, I knew this was bad from day one, but the highly stylized video certainly laid bare how radically different Prince William and Catherine's approach to communication has become from the more traditional method favored by the king and the queen. I'm sorry, I have to throw this in there. The king and the queen consort and Queen Elizabeth before them. Notably, while Catherine's parents, Michael and Carol Middleton, are shown playing cards with their grandchildren at what appears to be Admiral Hall, the prince and princess's home in the King's Sandringham estate, King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla are nowhere to be seen in the video. Now, see, they're making it sound like Charles and Camilla have mis- misgivings about this video, or they feel indifferent about the video because they're not featured in it. Au contraire, they are feeling that way because they know that this looks like a ridiculous waste of money amongst the public concerns. You have 45 what $1 million, okay, $60 million or 45 million pound raise, right? You can spend time at the beach and in the woods making this video, but you can't go to work. Neither one of you can work, but you can run back and forth through the woods and do all these slow motion reels and such, but you can't go to work. That was more than one day's production. Okay, so you've made this video. There was a Christmas video with Kate and the children. That drew a lot of criticism. There was the bench video. Still, there was some criticism. And also, there was the video from the Coronation Day, another ridiculous video. So, this may be, if I'm counting correct, I believe this is five unnecessary videos when a memorandum would have done perfectly well. But instead, they call out a camera crew. What is your point? And I'm probably missing some other productions, but what is your point? There's an easel at Buckingham Palace where you can easily submit a notification, but instead, you call up a camera crew with lots of post editing production value. That's a problem. Some of the monarch's friends are critical. One told me there's no coincidence that the Middletons appear in it and not the king and queen. I can assure you that Charles and Camilla will not be filmed kissing each other on the beach. Thank God. And the world has taken yet another collective sigh of relief. As William and Catherine were until hell freezes over, it's distinctly unregal. I spoke to another insider who was even more scathing. Oh, Richard, another insider. Anyway, oh, wait a minute. I think I know which insider that he's referring to. Can you guys think of who that? Hello? Is this the Daily Mail? No, I haven't been drinking. Well, maybe a little bit. But never mind that, you nincompoop. Senior Royal here. I said Senior Royal here. No, I'm not drunk. Senior Royal here. Okay, there you go. Now we know. Anyway, as I was saying, where did I leave off? All the time and effort and expense put into, oh, I'm sorry. I spoke to, okay, scathing. All that lying around, hugging and kissing, they're not soppy teenagers. They said it felt manipulative and the sort of thing that Megan would make. Come on now. Come on now. Harry and Meghan would not hire a camera crew just, oh, anyway. Again, this is that rat face Richard Eden. All of that lying around, blah, blah, blah. All the time, effort, and expense put into making the video could have been much better spent elsewhere. Why not visit other women being treated for cancer? That's what Diana would have done. While the film delighted and shocked viewers in equal measure, it's not the first time the Kensington Palace media team has released this sort of glossy extravaganza on social media. In May last year, the Welleses posted a 5-minute film about the core. Good God, I didn't know that that was 5 minutes. Did you guys know that? That the coronation video that they made was 5 minutes long? Anyway, the Welleses posted a 5-minute video about the coronation that included behind the scene footage of William and Catherine as they prepared for the king's big day. And again, their children featured extensively. If you're speaking about that occasion where Will and Kate were late arriving to the coronation because they had a film crew. Yes, I think I am familiar to that. With that. So anyway, and last December, the couple posted a similarly airbrushed review of the year. Oh, they had a year in review video. At the time, I voiced my concern about the strategy, which is being masterminded by Lee Thompson, who was appointed as their PR chief in 2022. Um, he is said to have been tasked with boosting the couple's profile on social media, where they have 16.8 million followers on Instagram. In previous job at top US TV network CNBC, Thompson is said to have helped increase its YouTube audience by a staggering 600%. His appointment came after the couple faced criticism, unfair in my view, says rat-faced Richard Eaton, for what was described as a tone-deaf tour of the West Indies in March of 2022. Um, if you're talking about that trip where they lost half the Commonwealth on an all expense paid vacation, right? I don't think that that was unfair. I thought it was very measured and appropriate. They deserved every bit of the criticism that they received. So Richard Eden, he always leaves room to lick a boot. He's always licking boots. Those boots are made for licking, and that's just what Richard Eaton is gonna do. And one of these days, his whiskers are going to tickle your boots too. Boom, doom, 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 doom. Are you ready, Richard? Start licking. uh, Let me drink some water. Anyway, let's see. Where did I leave off? His appointment came after the couple faced criticism. Okay. Speaking on the male's oh my God. Listen to this. Listen. Speaking on the male's hit royal show Palace Confidential last December, is the show a hit? Is okay. You see how he sneaks that in there? You see how well placed that was? Speaking on the male's hit royal talk show Palace Confidential last December, I remarked Kensington Palace is going down the route of the Hollywood style video does make me quite uneasy. William and Catherine are vulnerable to PR people who want them to be these slick celebrities. That's not what the royal family is. It's important to make that distinction. Well, then Richard Eden Why don't you tell them that? Or are you telling them now? Anyway, to conclude, even though I think the latest video is very sweet, I stand by those comments now. William and Catherine don't need to be Instagram royals, hungry for likes and engagement online. They should follow the example of Queen Elizabeth II. The late Queen was always keen to keep up to date with the latest technology, at the same time maintain the dignity of the monarchy. I'm sure she would have done as Catherine did with her statement in March following her cancer diagnosis, and perhaps released a simple video updating the nation on her health. But no more than that. A Buckingham Palace spokesman declined to comment after. Wait a minute. How is that possible? How does a Buckingham Palace spokesperson comment and then decline to comment? Because if you ask me, she was singing like Aretha Franklin 5 minutes ago. Now you say that they declined to comment? I don't think so. I think they said everything that they wanted to say. Kensington Palace spokesman also declined. Yeah, right. Anyway, as I said, this has taken on a life of its own. I am quite surprised that it seems as though the tabloid media have gone after them, even though they pretend otherwise by saying a courtier, a spokesman, an insider. The truth is, there is a direct line between the tabloid media and all of those so called royal reporters and the various press offices of Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace. So all of this was direct. They're trying to correct Will and Kate's behavior before things get worse. That's what they're trying to do. So, anyway, let me go here. Richard Edenwood Palace Insider. Okay, we just talked about that. And, um, there could be a small conflict of interest because, as you know, Richard Eden received a bag of doggy treats or dog food or something like that from James Middleton, Kate Middleton's brother. And some people have, well, anyway, I'll show you that in a minute. The other little thing is there is James Middleton, who doesn't seem like the sharpest tool in the shed. And just like his parents, he has a knack for starting a small business, overstating its growth and stability, and then next thing you know, just like his parents, he'll run that business into the ground. As soon as Uncle Gary's baking soda money runs out, then the business runs out. I mean, if you ask me, James Middleton is greatly misunderstood. He's brilliant, and as far as I'm concerned, he was the king of marshmallows. I could have lived a whole lifetime, and it never would have dawned on me to use marshmallows as some type of edible billboard. But James Middleton, that's exactly what he did when he wasn't hanging out with Dan Wooten. He's hanging around with some shady characters. Dan Wooten, Richard Eaton. Seems like everybody wants a piece of James Middleton. No pun intended. But it seems like everybody wants a piece of that Middleton. And I'm pretty sure that he is like giving them all kind of, well, I'm going to allege that he's probably given them allegedly all kind of inside information on what's happening with the firm and of course with the Middleton family over there in Buckleberry. Okay. Now, Buckleberry White. Oh yeah, here's another little brown nose. Richard Eden makes them. I'm sorry, make them the Earl and Countess of Buckleberry. While Carol Middleton I'm sorry, one more time. Why Carol and Michael Middleton deserve their own titles for their heroic support of William and Kate. Uh huh. And don't forget all of the free doggy treats that James Middleton gave you from his new business, um, Dogs Are Us, Doggy Treats, whatever he calls it, the Buckleberry Bits. Yeah, Buckleberry Bits. That's the name of the company, whatever it is. Um, all you got to do is give Richard Eaton a couple of bags of doggy treats, and next thing you know, he's trying to get the Middleton family titles and country estates and everything. Starting a little whispering campaign, are we? Now, Henry VIII, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think that whatever is happening with Kate Middleton is over yet. And then, if you notice, Henry VIII has shown these photos. She tweeted these photos. Notice that the ear on that little child there on the left, one ear is looks like it's at a good angle, but the other one seemed like it has dropped down to his shoulder. That is a very odd angle for that kid's ear. And then, if you notice, Charlotte's legs look a little wonky, right? Um, Also, if you look at Charlotte's striped top that she's wearing, doesn't it seem odd that that same outfit that she's leaping through the air seems to be the same outfit that was used in what is supposed to have been a recent video? As though this video, where William has no facial hair, in parts of it, possibly all of it, was filmed some time ago. And the arrow bear at the bottom, as you can see, um, the timetable for all of these images seem to be a bit off. Just like the photo, the Mother's Day photo, where they seem to create a patchwork of images, seems like the same thing is happening with the I just finished chemotherapy video. It seems as though they have not learned from their mistakes. They're doing the same thing all over again. And I am here for it. I'm just letting you know I am here for it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Let's see. Mamie Ricks, thank you so much for being a member, and thank you so much for the super sticker. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for supporting Royal Sussex. Yes, I am here for it. What in the world is going on? There is something odd. Well, you know what? I should have gotten that whole photo out where they're leaping over the sand dune. When you look at the photo up close, the shape of their bodies all seem to be a bit off. I cannot believe they're doing it's almost like it's a cry for help. This seems as though it's a cry for help. See what I mean? On the heels of the body double, possibly the weirdness of the car with the big puffy face, right? And of course, the Mother's Day photo. And then at the bottom there, that was, where she's in the SUV and she turns her head, which looks almost identical to, and don't even get me started with the what appears to be an AI video on the bench where nothing's moving in the background. Nobody would add their names to the production. Why are they doing this? Why do they keep deliberately sowing the seeds of doubt behind every video and every photo? Is someone in trouble and in need of help? It's as though lightning is striking not once, not twice, but several times. And they keep doing it. Look at Louis' arm. Look at George's ear. Why is one ear down on his shoulder and the other one seems to be in the right position? What is going on with this? Why do they keep doing this? So, in the red boxes are a couple of comments from some members of the Sussex squad that I didn't care to identify. This gets better and better, but let's be clear. By tomorrow, Richard Eaton will go back to licking Kate's feet. All this is a warning shot to not circumvent the traditional press in favor of privately made films and uploaded to Instagram. And then the other comment from someone else says, his dog food is running out. Fakery needs to call her brother to issue supply ASAP. And what is that? Wiz needs to something. Anyway, all of this will go away. In other words, Richard Eden will cease and desist from this attack on Kate's reputation if he hurry up. I'm sorry, if they hurry up and dispatch a bag of that dog food or whatever that was they gave Richard. Y'all better get him some food. Y'all better, and who knows? Maybe the dog is not the only one that's eating it. Maybe Richard Eaton is sitting up there snacking on it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's snacking on it too. Barbara Richardson, London Bridge is truly falling down. Here, here. Thank you so much for the super chat. Ever since the Queen has gone down into that storm cellar at the St. George Chapel, they have gone from bad to worse. Instead of from strength to strength, they have gone from bad to worse. It is breathtaking how far they have declined in such a short period of time. And they're not done yet. They're not done yet. This death spiral that they're in is only going to get worse. Connie Balmer, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for all of my Ricola because I have been leaning heavily on it to save me. As a matter of fact, I keep a box here on my desk to save me from when my throat gets very weird. So thank you. It's like every time I have another Ricola, I feel like I've gotten a new hug for the day. So thank you very much. Oh, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Ooh, I guess the check didn't clear. And Leg said, I don't know why don't they try being authentic? Why do they constantly have to manipulate their images? People age, people fall out of love, divorce, etc. They need to just be themselves. Amen to that. Amen to that. It's just, I don't know, it's like they lean into trickery and manipulation when the truth would do just fine. The truth would do just fine, but they 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 lean on the dark arts for some reason. Some of the monarch's friends. Oh, this is from that Richard Eaton. Okay. Notice that I use smoke since they are using this misinformation as a smokescreen. I decided to use a backdrop of smoke. And this right here. Now, this is repugnant. This is tacky, nasty, weird. If this were Harry and Meghan, needless to say, we would never hear the end of it. We would never hear the end of it. But that double standard that they have, I would be so embarrassed if my parents put on a display like this at any age. I would be embarrassed. Was the pressure of Cartagena so great that this is the result of it? And as for the filmmaker, his reputation should be forever affected by this lousy video he put together. This is really bad. Bad. My first instincts was number one, I feel as fresh as a summer eve, and number two, is is overreach. It is overreach, unnecessary. The more they try to look normal, the more I cringe. I wonder if that is the oh, let me see. Yes, Colombia, I had them shocked. Yeah. Yeah, but I wonder if making people cringe is the intended effect. uh Mystic Toxin says, to be fair, that photo isn't real. Yeah. If you mean that one where they're like leaping through the air. Hi, Jules Ryder. I could whip out the Harry Potter. Thank you so much. Let me see. Oh, that filmmaker needs to go into the Tower of London. Oh, I got a soundbite for you. You guys, I only played a little bit of this yesterday. Um, oh, there it is. There it is. And of course, I'm going to use this occasion to stretch. Okay, here goes.
Point. If it's about cancer, why is she not using that platform to A, thank the people who've treated her by showing them, and B, show people that, look, I've been through what you may be going through. Here's me, whether it's just her taking a tablet or whatever, just something that shows you that she has been through this, rather than here's me walking through a wheat field looking like a perfect family.
We'll get on.
Point. If it's about cancer, why is she not using that platform to A, thank the people who've treated her by showing them, and B, show people that, look, I've been through what you may be going through. Here's me, whether it's just her taking a tablet or whatever, just something that shows you that she has been through this, rather than here's me walking through a wheat field looking like the perfect family.
We'll get on.
Okay, so that was one. Here's the other.
Reserved. Harry and Meghan, though, wonder what they're thinking in Montecito. Wonder what Meghan is saying to Harry. Oh my God, if we had produced this video, we would have been castigated by the British media. It's so unfair how William and Kate are treated so differently to you and me, Harry. Wouldn't she?
She might.
Because
but
we would have castigated them if they had produced this.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm not going to do a Prince Harry impression.
Oh, go on.
No, sorry. But because it would involve probably him swearing at me, which is my...
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Meghan. We'll do our own video in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that they don't want to be trying to outdo the Sussexes. You know, their strength is that they should be above all that. They shouldn't be trying to be this sort of Instagram, perfection. I go back to my original point. I know, but
to appeal to the youngsters.
I know, but I go back to my original point. If it's about cancer, why is she not using that platform to A, thank the people who've treated her by showing them, and B, show people that, look, I've been through what you may be going through. Here's me, whether it's just her taking a tablet or whatever, just something that shows you that she has been through this, rather than here's me walking through a wheat field looking like the perfect family.
We'll get on to reader responses in just a moment. One Gen Zer, my 50. This looks quite reserved. Harry and Meghan, though.
So I would love to see more of this. What I don't get is that he is speaking common sense, but yet she's trying to be comedic, and also at the same time, she's making these little glib comments about Harry and Meghan and what they would think and what they're doing and how they would react. Harry and Meghan are not the ones that's in trouble. Harry and Meghan are not the ones that look unprofessional and ridiculous. Will and Kate does. I don't know who this guy is, but he's speaking with plenty of common sense. As a matter of fact, he's being the adult, and Camilla Tominey is being rather childish. She's trying to insult Harry and Meghan and looking very childish and out of touch at the same time. The truth is, Will and Kate did something reckless and irresponsible and is damaging to the reputation of the monarchy. It's not a permanent thing. It's very temporary. But the reason why people are getting nervous is because increasingly they are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially hundreds of thousands of pounds, for productions that don't make sense, that are unnecessary, superfluous, ridiculous. It is not necessary. They don't need it. It's childish. It reminds me of the Beverly Hillbillies, where Jethro wants to be a brain surgeon, a double knot spy, and a Hollywood producer. That's what William reminds me of. He reminds me of Jethro. One week he wants to be a brain surgeon. The next week he wants to be a double knot spy. And then give him another week and he wants to be a Hollywood producer. William, he wants to be a global statesman, right? He wants to be the environmentalist, and he wants to be a Hollywood producer. I'm telling you, it is an incredible coincidence that everything that Jethro was trying to do back in the 1960s, William seems to be the one doing it in 2024 or in the 2020s. Lex says, wait, if the pictures are from Father's Day, the film is long before the Columbia trip. What was most of this in response to? Did they repurpose it? I think so. They either repurposed it or they have way more footage than we're aware of. And I guess they decided that they would try to get some value for money and string it together. But it does seem like it comes from Father's Day, which is what, June or May for the UK. But yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense the way that they put this together. Kate could have sat on the bench. She could have just stood right there under the tree or whatever. But this whole sappy production was a huge misstep. Thank you so much for your comment. And Mystic Toxin says, neck pro ain't real anyway. Thank you so much for your comment. Let me see. What was I wanted to oh gosh, what was I trying to share? It just slipped my mind. Oh, this. I told you, obsessed. She's obsessed with Harry and Meghan. Totally obsessed. But oh, thank you to the squatties that have been posting these, because otherwise it's not likely I would have seen it at all. Let me see. I don't know if this is okay, let me try this one. This one was from yesterday that I shared.
Mentioned those moments. Well, yeah, but the problem is that the problem I have anyway is, yes, you mentioned those moments when we've seen them being affectionate before, but that was genuine and spontaneous. This looked like it was scripted. It made me feel uncomfortable because I felt as though it was kind of put on. It didn't seem natural.
Is it a bit too Sussex-ish?
Yeah. So I think that if look, they're almost trying to out Sussex the Sussexes, aren't they? Which is not a good place for them to be.
I mean, to be fair, this doesn't look out of place in comparison to Oprah Winfrey and Netflix.
Yeah.
Does it? And Spare, this is like, oh my goodness, by comparison. Beyonce's just texted, this looks quite reserved.
Yeah, but the problem is that the problem I have anyway is, yes, you mentioned those moments when we've seen them being.
I don't understand why she is trying to clean this up. If you invite this other guy, if you're inviting this other guy to have this conversation, he is what am I trying to say? He is countering every comment and every justification that Camilla Tominey is making. He is literally pointing out to her that it made me uncomfortable. It's more or less unprofessional, unnecessary. It's not playing to their strengths. They're trying to out Sussex the Sussexes. And truth be told, this guy knows that Harry and Meghan, and Camilla Tominey for that matter, they know Harry and Meghan would not do anything like this. Harry does not want for such attention. What happens with them is organic, and it's either organic or it's not. But that they set out for these moments is totally untrue. Harry and Meghan are very tactile with one another. That is the type of wife, the type of relationship that Harry longed for. He did not want a royal bride. He did not want a Stepford wife. He wanted someone that was just as human as his mother. This is not what he wanted. He didn't want a mannequin. He did not want a jointed doll, right? That is not what he wanted. And that's what William is stuck with. Yes, thank you so much. He's trying to stay on task, but she keeps deflecting and trying to make it about Harry and Meghan. Perfect. You get a bell for that. Thank you so much. Very, very well said. Yes, he is staying on task and she keeps deflecting with Harry and Meghan. And to what ends, what is the point of it? I don't know how that's helpful. It only makes her look ridiculous. Naomi Maria Willie wants to catch up with Harry's global statesman position. Willie left his calling too late. He could have listened to his granny, but she had to rely on sending Harry to the Fun World tour jobs. Yeah, William showed no interest in working. This idea that they are modern hands-on parents, right? They're modern parents, they're hands-on, and that is the excuse that they have used for what? How old is George? This is the excuse that they've used for maybe 15 years, is that they're modern hands-on parents and therefore they can't uh, part themselves from the children long enough to do their work. And they expect to get away with this. And so far, you know what? They are getting away with it. There are people that are saying, hey, listen, you are wasting several opportunities to ingratiate the royal family to the public. And you're not doing it. But they don't care because there is no repercussion. Their laziness is somehow deflected because they simply try to put the attention on Harry and Meghan. And people should not be able to notice any lack of work from the Cambridges. I still say there is no reason, all of this stuff about the doctors and treatments and all, there's no reason why Kate Middleton cannot work. There's no reason. She has made the choice to sit it out. There are too many people that we have known. It may be you listening to me right now, but we all know someone who is going through treatment right now that do not have the luxury to say, I can't do anything because I'm just not up to it today. The Queen worked, Philip worked. Now, Philip didn't have cancer, but I believe Philip had heart disease or whatever his problem was. He worked. And when he turned 90 or 95, who wouldn't say, yeah, okay, you're done? And still, he came out to more occasions after he retired than Kate has done while she's still of working age. If she's that bad off, she ought to be in an institution. But they want to have it both ways. Oh, Kate was running around with the kids. Oh, she was at the supermarket. Oh, she was all of these things that they say she was doing. If she was doing those things, she could have worked. If you have time to do that, if you have the strength to do that, you could work. And how predictable was it that several squaddies said she's only going to troop in the color so that she can go to Wimbledon? And what happened? She went to Wimbledon and we haven't seen her since. We haven't seen her since. Predictable. So she's going to go to the Remembrance Day. She's going to go for Christmas. And possibly she'll do that walk to church or drive to church, whichever she chooses to do. And then she's done for the year. Like I said, she works about as much as Philip. She works as much now as Philip did when he retired at age 95. That's extraordinary. She ought to be embarrassed. She really ought to be embarrassed. And of course, there are the, oh, by the way, someone sent me a PayPal. Thank you so much for that. Now, I've been having trouble looking at the messages from the PayPals because of this very complicated menu that they have created. Oh yeah, see, that's not it. But at least I don't think so. But my apologies that I'm unable to sort this out. But thank you so much. A second. Let's see if what I can do. Yeah. Okay. But I don't like the way they did this thing. That's what you do. You take something that's not broke and you break it. If it's not broke, break it. Huh. Okay. All right. Thank you again so much for the PayPal mystery person. I mean, I can't even see your name. I'm gonna tell you what, one of these days. There we go. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I give up. I give up. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Woo! What was that? What was that? Now that scared me. I see. Is thank you so much. TWM. Thank you so much. I see it. As long as I don't open my phone completely, I can see that much. But thank you. Okay. Sorry about that. Thing is very confusing now. uh, well, thank you, cookies and cream. All right. So, what does it say here? Jessica Taylor. Hello, this is your reminder that literally everything the royal family do is about PR. They are not neutral marketing, misleading the public and controlling narratives around themselves are absolutely central to their identity and their success. If something feels like an advert, that's because it's an advert. If something feels off, that's because it's off. If something feels like a cover up, that's because it's a cover up. If something feels like a distraction, Camilla Tomini, that's because it's a distraction. Stop looking at our monarchy as if it is, as if it's this little old special family who just so happens to be born into royalty, and start seeing them for what they are. Here, here. Cynics are so wrong to call Kate's mini movie contrived. Now, see, I wouldn't have thought to call it a movie, but they had to dispatch Becky the Blob to try to straighten things out. It shows the Wells family as they really live, writes Rebecca English, writes Rebecca the Blob. And by the way, you guys, I think Becky has been listening, and I think she heard everything that you all said about her. Now, see, I tried to stop y'all from. I tried to stop y'all from roasting her, but you guys would not listen to me. You all just said whatever you wanted to say. I said, no, please. She's a person too. Please don't be so um, whatever to Becky the Blob. But you all didn't. I mean to Rebecca English, but you all didn't listen. And now, well, I'll show you in a minute. Very risque row behind Kate and William's latest video. Royals filmed on nudist beach while locals branded a heaven, a haven that is for swingers and preverts. Really, the Norfolk Beach has been at the center of more than one nudist row. So that beach that they used for that video, do you mean to tell me that that beach has been a, as Archie Bunker would say, a place of irrefruit? That beach has been like some outdoor um swingers party or something? Seriously? Now, if you look on the right side, I'm just trying to let you know that this is not the first time that the royal couple has been embroiled in some controversy over public things. If you look where it says chateau, that must be about a mile away. The photographer most likely was right there where you see the X. They used a long range lens and aimed it toward a chateau in France where William and Kate were visiting. And that is where they got all of those photos of Kate that went into the Closer magazine that you see at the bottom. Yes, that is how they exposed those little flapjacks and hotcakes and mosquito bumps, was because of the use of a long range lens. Now, you guys, let me tell you something. You can Google and you can find those photos right now. They're not hard to find. At one point, when Willie was trying to help apply, I suppose, the tanning lotion or sunblock, whatever it was, you just have to see for yourself. You just have to see it for yourself. I was like, what the what? What the what? Um, yeah, I could see why he was angry. I was like, what? Why? Well, I mean, yes, I know people don't like to have tan lines, but what are they doing? It was very, very bizarre. So it wasn't just the exposure, but it was the the contortions that took place to apply whatever sunblock or whatever it was. Yeah. That's when things got really weird. Now you would think after this that all of the dress blowing over your head and flying around and all that kind of stuff, you would think that that would have been the end of it, but it wasn't. Modesty didn't seem to be something that they were interested in. But again, the only reason why there was the lawsuit is because of the very bizarre actions that were taken to apply whatever salve or cream or whatever they were using. Um Hold on, let me go take another look. Let me take another look because now you got me doubting myself. Wait, let me see. Let me see. Mm, now I got to take another look. But what gets me though is that they're so critical of they're so critical of Megan for you know that they make up stuff when here the truth is stranger than fiction. Oh, good Lord. Oh, Lord. You know what? What's really bad is I will not be able to unsee this. I don't know what I've gotten myself into. But guess what? I am going to slow up. Let me get out of this. My eyes, my eyes, my eyes. Right? Um, I don't understand what was happening. How strange. How strange. Well, I tell you what, I hope they I hope they don't ever catch them too. I hope they don't ever catch them too. Oh well. You all are so messy. I'm moving on. So Kate Middleton cancer airbrushing doesn't reflect the brutality of ordinary people's chemotherapy. So this article, which was in the Mirror, yes, in the Mirror. This is a new article. I only just found this one. Let me see. It is dated for the 10th, but I only just found this one. You can't please all of the people all of the time. And of course, there will be many who are inspired by Princess of Wales video. Um, oh, wait, no, there's something at the bottom there, isn't it? I'm sorry, I missed that part. Kate hasn't set herself up as a poster child for all of the cancer patients, but Mirror's Polly Hudson says going through chemo is the opposite of frolicking in a sunlit meadow, and only showing one side of her glossy video must make people with cancer feel very alone. Oh, you know what? I think I did share this one already. You can't please all of the people all of the time. And of course, there will be many who are inspired by Kate Middleton's or Kate Princess of Wales, whatever, and message that there can be a light at the end of the chemotherapy tunnel, but it feels important to take a moment to consider those who may feel differently, those for whom this deeply unrealistic view of cancer treatment will be incredibly jarring and, to say the least, unlike that infamous Mother's Day photo, this reality matters. Airbrushing out the dark and the only showing the light is digitally altering the truth. As anyone who has ever witnessed someone going through chemo will know, It's the polar opposite of frolicking in a sunlit meadow. An oncologist treating a family member of mine once described it as something that nearly kills them to try to save their lives. Kate hasn't set herself up as a poster child for all cancer patients, and to some extent, she can't win no matter what she does. But there is a real disconnect between the glossy, perfect aesthetic portrayed in the 3 minute video, the brutal reality for thousands of British people currently being treated for cancer. Um, as with all royals, many of the luxuries afforded to Kate simply aren't an option for normal people. They aren't able to take unlimited time off from work. Uh, they're battling the cost of living crisis, perhaps queuing at a food bank, having to keep up with their childcare and housework, enduring NHS waiting times, and using crowded public transport to get to and from the hospital appointments. You know, it's that's and this is not even mentioning, and they don't have to mention it, but to the person who's going through treatment, if that is a single parent, a custodial parent, a single parent, and you're going through something like this, and let's say your children are not grown, independent adults, or even if they are adults, if they're not independent and they rely upon you as the head of the household, you could compound all of the other stuff that was just mentioned along with that. And that has got to be devastating. And Kate is not reaching out not only to the community of people that are going through it, not even an individual. She's not even using an individual as an example to the rest of the community of people that are either going through treatment or has been through treatment, and of course their families. The brilliant thing about the Invictus Games is that the Invictus Games is not just there for the soldier, but their families. The brilliant thing about Scotty's Little Soldiers and Well Child is that it is for the entire family's benefit. Nobody is directly benefiting from Kate Middleton. Nobody. The platitudes and the pH balanced shampoo commercial that she made is not any type of direct outreach to anyone. Not one single person. Kate alludes to how difficult her experience has been in the voiceover, admitting that the last 9 months have been incredibly tough for us as a family. And common sense dictates that, of course, she will have had some incredibly difficult time. But all that we see on screen is a vibrant and they lived happily ever after fairy tale version of what has been and continues to be a horror story for many. It is brutal and insensitive. You did not think that the bench video could get any worse, and then this came out. Because after the bench video, there is no example of Kate Middleton reaching out to anyone, not as an individual, not to any groups, nobody. Mm. Kate is deflecting from the spare accusations as well, and don't forget the what is the other one? The end game. Yeah, spare and the end game. Mamie Rick says, "Thank you, everyone. Just don't understand what Kate is doing, not adding nothing to the suffering of many people dealing with this horrible disease." And the sycophants that were writing articles about brave Kate on the bench, right? What was it the lady said in the article? Mere mortals. They have learned nothing from the mere mortals comment. Nothing at all. You would think after the mere mortals comment that they would be vigilant and very careful not to insult or hurt anyone again. But this, I'm afraid, is just that. It is very hurtful to anyone who is going through the illness, that is feeling afraid and vulnerable, who is suffering from lack of resources, who is not sure what's going to happen to their family should the worst happen. None of this speaks to any of that. None of it. Just know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and you're not alone. Well, if they're dependent on the royal family for outreach, you're just as good as alone. And this is why I have not let this go. This is exactly why I have not let this go, because it's outrageous. It really is outrageous. How could you be so short sighted, not once, but twice on the same topic? Uh huh. Yeah. Um, the bench video with the very pale lighting, the pale gold light, and all that. That was supposed to be her looking frail, and then she showed up at Trooping the Colors looking like my fair Katie. Exactly. You get a bell for that, Lex. You get a bell for that. The palace must be in a panic right now. They have to be panicking about Will and Kate because Charles is not going to be there to rein them in the future. Charles already had, or should I say, Buckingham Palace, they already had to take control of the communication for Kensington Palace last spring because of all of the missteps. And then once again, they have made a huge misstep. I believe that the prostate thing coming out hours after Kate, or within an hour or two of Kate's emergency surgery, with Charles having to have surgery of his own. And remember, neither one of them were supposed to be cancerous. And then all of a sudden, because I'm going to say one more time, it does not make sense that two somewhat respected public figures, people who have a constitutional position, whatever you think of the monarchy, their roles, their existence is constitutional. Charles and the mother of a future king, the wife of a king, um, or future king, Kate, right? She is responsible for a future king. And it's very irresponsible to announced her surgery the way that they announced it. And then Charles immediately comes behind with his tales of woe. The fact that that happened on the same day, considering Charles having a prostate problem was not an emergency. That right there lets you know that they were covering. They needed cover. They needed to take attention off of Kate. Whatever happened to her, they needed to pull that attention away from her. And then there was all of the conflicting information about William moving heaven and earth. And then this list of names of relatives who are going to get involved with raising those children while Kate is convalescing. And yet, we did not see any of those Middletons except for Pippa. We didn't see anyone until the horse, whatever that is, the what do they call that? Whatever the horse thing is when they're in the carriages. That was the very next time that we saw Kate's mother. We didn't see her coming and going from the hospital. We didn't see the father, the brother, or the sister. It seems as though she was all alone wherever she was. So none of this is adding up. Okay, I was able to open it. So TWM says, love you, Baron. Thank you for what you always do for the Sussexes and for us. Your friend. Oh, okay. I see. See, it's a different name. I'm so glad I didn't say it. Oh, thank you so much for that. Thank you. All right. I got to learn my way around that app. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen in October. I wonder what's going to happen in October. Not to say that that's what Kate has, but anyway, thank you so much for your comment. Okay, we're going to jump on to another topic. Yeah, the Kate's response to whatever is going on with her has been very irresponsible. And as I said yesterday, it was mentioned in one of the articles is that Kate is hoping or is expecting to move on from whatever diagnosis or whatever treatment that she's had, and that she doesn't want it mentioned again. She does not want anyone in public. And I do believe that's one of the things is that when they're out and doing, because it's going to be a long time before she does a walkabout. I'm pretty sure that if she does shake hands or do selfies or something like that, people are going to say some things that she will find inappropriate or that she just doesn't want to answer. And I promise you some kind of truth is going to come out when that happens, because some very well-meaning concerned people are going to ask her something and she is going to get completely stumped and say something stupid. Hi, Lizzie34. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Connie Bomber. But yeah, and that's why this is so puzzling that they are missing the target. This is an occasion where Kate could actually be a hero. She could actually do something meaningful with her time, with her presence, with her situation. And instead, it seems like they just want to put it away in a drawer and forget about it. So when it comes to being parents, they want to be modern and hands-on, which, as far as I'm concerned, is an excuse to avoid work. But when it comes to discussing and sharing about whatever illness that she's had, then that's old school. That's going right back to the Queen, with Queen Elizabeth, that is, where there's no mention of any illness, because there's never been any public acknowledgement of what Queen Elizabeth's illness was. The birth certificate just said that she died from old age, right? Doesn't mention cancer at all, just the complications due to age. So modern in some respects and business as usual in others. But the modern is really a cover for lazy. Okay, so let's get on to William. Trust me, we will talk about that some more because I ain't through with it yet. I bet this one, what is that? Ecstatic. I bet this one was ecstatic to get a photo in uniform with his beard. He so wants to be like Harry. Now check out Harry in uniform with his beard. He's so handsome, just no comparison. Even the one they, even the one they salute, Harry looks like a real soldier, and the brother a toy soldier. So William went to something with the RAF today. As you can see, he's in his RAF uniform. And I kind of like the photo on the left, not for the beard. It's not about the aesthetics, but I want you to notice that indentation on his forehead. I believe that that was that 9 iron that some unidentified child in his youth, of course, clobbered him with a golf club, fracturing his skull and requiring surgery, to the likes of which Princess Diana literally stayed at the hospital overnight. And Charles, he expressed a slight bit of interest, and then he left immediately so that he can go and be with Camilla to continue their adulterous affair. But yeah, Diana stayed at the hospital, but I do believe that indentation is where he was hit with a golf club. He was knocked unconscious. It was very touch and go for a minute there, but he was literally knocked out. Now, as far as I know, they have never identified, and of course they wouldn't, it was a child, but I don't know, something happened and they knocked him out. Interesting, right? And that's why I am going to say very clearly and very, very clear that I think one of the reasons, possibly allegedly, that he may have some issues is because of that indentation on his forehead. But somebody knocked him out cold. I'm just saying. Somebody knocked him out. What a great day. We're honored to have His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, as the reviewing officer for the graduation of the RAF's newest officers from, men in uniform. Yeah, he'll be there. I just realized that where the boys are, that's where you'll find him. That's right, where the boys are. He and Kate only come out for the boys, and true to form. Now, someone was very shady. You just noticed that that wasn't me, but somebody was very shady and posted that photo with a little tiny toothbrush on top of those butter teeth of his, on top of those butter encrusted nicotine, wine, coffee stained teeth of his. It wasn't me. That's how I found the photo. But yeah, too little, too late, right? Too little, too late. If you're going to mimic Harry, if you're going to try to be Harry 2.0, you got to do like Harry did. Go and get your teeth professionally whitened. Get some veneers. Do something. I mean, look at the state of him. Look at the state of him. Reminds me of that Austin Powers movie. Prince of Wales has arrived at RAF Cranwell. He's attending the Sovereign's Parade on behalf of King Charles. And then here we go. His Royal Highness Prince William dons military gear and sports an even fuller beard as he salutes RAF cadet. So, you guys, I'm afraid the beard is here to stay. Still sporting his favorite beard. His fan favorite beard. Prince of Wales looks smart in his military gear while appearing at the Sovereign's Parade. Blah, blah, blah. He has no shame, does he? He has absolutely no shame. He will literally do whatever it takes to try to steal Harry's thunder. Now, I suspect that there is a 5'5" bearded equerry with adoring eyes that may be the inspiration for William's new look. I don't know why I get the feeling that William was inspired by someone that is rather close to him, someone who is there to see or seek his comfort whenever and wherever he travels, his equerry, right? So I just suspect that that was the inspiration. And the equerry, I mean to tell you, I'm pretty sure that there are people that have been married for years that cannot get their spouse to look at them like that. Their partner's adoring gaze, right? Everything about that look says, tell me more about your pulled pork sandwich. Huh? Everything about that gaze sounds like a pulled pork sandwich to me. With all the toppings. How cute. Well, they make a cute couple. By couple, I mean, future sovereign and equerry. Yep. And pretty soon they're going to be twinsies. Except, he's a little short. But pretty soon they're going to be twinsies. Yep. Rory, I think you're onto something. I really do. I think you're onto something. And to be honest with you, I kind of feel like William has had a beard for quite some time. As a matter of fact, he really has had a beard since 2011. Yeah, he's had a beard since 2011. If you know, you know. He has been sporting a beard since 2011. Bearded William is trying to be the David Beckham of the royal family, and it just won't do. Now, obviously the beard is here to stay, and that's just the way it's going to be. If it makes your equerry happy, then you're happy. Isn't that like a didn't I see a poster? Or is that sounds like one of those things that goes on a refrigerator. If the equerry is happy, then daddy's happy or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Maybe I saw it on a coffee mug. Have you hugged your equerry today? Was that a bumper sticker? Mm-mm. Look out, Christian Jones. I wonder what the equerry's name is. Harry versus Wills. Who wore the beard best? And then over there, yeah. Yep. This one-sided competition is still in full form. Hi, Eddie Bennett. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, so this is a campaign. William has obviously instructed the tabloids that he's going to grow a beard, and it is their job to make it palatable to the public. But the beard is here to stay. Okay. Do you all know I still have not put together my new office chair? I still have not put together my new office chair. I just had to put the wheel back on this one. Um, that's going to be my project this weekend is to assemble my new office chair. How many months have I had that? Like maybe 4 or 5 months? Something like that. I'll get around to it eventually. So I was going through my receipts and I found some photos of the Cambridges, now the Welleses, looking upon each other's face ever so adoringly, right? Some of their best images are usually the ones where they're in a car in that confined space that is moving about with motorcycles on either side. That confined space is when their relationship is at its strongest, when you can't just walk away for fear of rolling over and over until you're all bruised and bloodied. That is when they are the most comfortable, as I say sarcastically, they're most comfortable with each other. Or how about this one? Now, I'm going to just say at this point, which I think may have been last spring, perhaps. Um, Kate was not looking well. Now, it could have been the rain, but she was not looking well. Whatever has been going on with her has been going on with her for quite some time. And it may have been the stress of, well, 2024, when it was said that there was going to be a royal divorce. Maybe it was a stress leading up to 2024. But whatever the case may be, things were not going well for the Welleses, right? Now, on the right side, that hideous blue coat, that was when the global pandemic was taking place. That is perhaps 2021. Um, Scotland had told them, do not come up here. the First Minister in Scotland worried about the idea that they might spread a disease if they come up there. She was worried that they might come up there with diseases, a global pandemic disease, but a disease nonetheless. And they went anyway, someplace where they were not welcome. Um, and as a result, you can see they look horrible. I mean, if you're going to look like that, better to just stay home. Now, what's amazing is that even though at this point, whenever this was taken or filmed, even though he's not bearded, he still looks bearded to me. He still look like there's a beard present. I don't know why, but I'm seeing a beard. And do you remember yesterday when I said that I thought that some of those photos were probably uncomfortable for Catherine because usually her head is listing to starboard, but for the purposes of the photo, they forced her to list to port. But part of her little nervous tick is that she's usually listing to starboard, not to port. But unfortunately for her, they forced her to shift to the other side, which is the starboard side, and that's or the port side, starboard. Oh no, port, and that's not comfortable for her. So that is why it's hard for me to look at those photos because I know she's terribly uncomfortable, and because I care about her so much, because of my continued affection for her, I could not help but feel pained for her situation. So I'm just glad that she survived it because she's so used to going the other way um, that I was worried about her. I mean, I could feel it, I could see it, and it scared me. So because I care about her so much, I really do. Like when she was missing all that time. Now I'm going to show you what I mean by what my concerns were. This right here. See, that's not natural for her. She almost has to stand up and lean over to one side to make that possible because that's not the angle of attack that she's used to. She's not used to see there. Even the kids are even the kids are forcing her to do it. That's not comfortable for her. Is is starboard or nothing, but port, that's not comfortable for her. So what am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm so concerned. I'm getting confused. And then of course, the very affectionate nature of their relationship, like this right here, where they made the comparison about Kate kissing Will at Polo with genuine pleasure. That's pleasure? She looks like she's having a stroke. That doesn't look like pleasure. That looks like a stroke. Whereas Megan is more submissive, they say, with Harry. Uh, for Kate, it almost looks like there's some type of wrestling move going on, like WWF or something very strange and bizarre. I just think that there's a chemistry present with the Sussexes that is not available to the Welleses. See what I mean? Compare that to the worst of times that Charles and Diana were going through, where Diana, the Princess of Wales at the time, Even though she contorted her face, she looks absolutely beautiful. Whereas Kate, well, she looks different. But Kate Middleton and Prince William's polo kiss compares to Princess Diana and Charlie. Well, as you can see, they both seem very uncomfortable. To see, the more that they try to help Kate, the more they try to help William, the more embarrassing it is for them. If I was them, I would say, listen, please don't help. Don't help me. And then, of course, there's William's eyes that are like, help, help. His eyes are crying for help. This institution is literally squeezing the life out of me. I can't take it. See there? The Prince and Princess of Wales arrive at the service at the cenotaph, at which Prince William will lay a wreath. Mm-hmm. There's something about his eyes that are screaming help. And right here, even this evening out, I guess they were going to BAFTA or something like that. They could not be more detached if they tried. William is closer to the guy on the other side with the motorcycle than he is with his own wife. Oh wait, was this the I think this was the Tom Cruise film opening premiere. And then of course there's William again. So pleased to be in the place where he is right now. I mean, you look at his eyes, there's nothing about this situation where he would trade places with anybody, even Harry. He just wouldn't because he's too happy, see? Now, I found this. Remember back in, what was it, 2021? When they took these photos trying to puff them up as being so in love, and I forgot what the occasion was. I think this was People magazine. But look at the state of them. Kate looks delirious, like she's been in a cough syrup or something. And William, once again, he looks so uncomfortable. Like he look at how their bodies are. Does that seem like two people that are madly in love, or two people that can't wait to get away from each other? Now, this is from the very first Earth flop. Notice the caption. That is the original caption. I enlarged it so you can see it clearly. The couple gave each other a loving look on the green carpet as they headed to the inaugural awards. Are they even looking at each other? William is looking down and off to one side, and Kate, it looks like she's trying to look at a clock or something in the distance. This is a loving look? Really? Now, let me show you something. This is the first Earth flop. And if you look in the background, there is a family. And maybe that's what Kate was looking at. Maybe she was thinking how different life would be had she not married this bozo. Maybe she wouldn't be so rich and privileged. But then again, she would have a real life. And by the way, that family pushing the pram back there, that is the big turnout of curious people who realized that there was some event going on, and they stopped to see all of the famous people, including the Welleses. They are incredibly outnumbered by security and press, photographers, and whatever. Just one family even bothered to give this event the time of day. One family. Oh, and by the way, this was also that occasion when William decided to imitate a bottle of Mitchum roll-on deodorant, right? It's so powerful you could even skip a day. You may not have to, but it's nice to know you can. That's right. William as Mitchum roll-on deodorant. That's how strong it is. And then, of course, there's the BAFTA. When Kate leaned over to say something to the lady there, and William just cringed and tried to shrink away from her. I tell you, there's never been two people more in love. And then Kate, of course, with those very doe-eyed glances that she's capable of. Yeah, she is a real Hollywood pinup, isn't she? Look at how she's sharing her thoughts with the public. Her eyes wander with joy over the great selection that she's made for a partner. And then, of course, it goes back and forth. She looks at him adoringly, he looks at her adoringly. I'm telling you, everybody should have what they have, as I say that sarcastically. And this is one of my favorites. William is so nervous around Kate because he just loves her so much that he gets nervous and can't even make eye contact. So rather than trying to hold a conversation with someone who intimidates her with her intelligence, intimidates him, that is, he decides to pick at the trim of the interior of the state Bentley. Yeah, he is so um, deliriously in love that rather than to try to hold a conversation, he's literally scratching at the wood veneer in the rear of the state Bentley. Now that's love. That is love. Everybody should have that. Yeah. And that's how he feels about it. Everybody should have that. Well, the truth is this is probably more accurate than anything else I just mentioned. This is probably far more accurate. This famous photo right here. And notice uh, they're both in their RAF uniforms. I believe that was the day when they celebrated 100 years of the Royal Air Force. And of course, if the beard thing doesn't work out, I'm pretty sure William is going to go back to his Afro puffs, right? If the beard doesn't work out, then he's going to go back to the Afro puffs. He's going to go back to roller skates, hot pants, halter tops, and Afro puffs. Do you want to funk with me? Let me show you how. Do you want to funk? I will show you now. Do you want to funk with me? Hey, do you want to funk with me? Yes, do you want to funk? You better get it, Sylvester. Now, this is what I was talking about. You all, I think somebody has been watching Royal Sussex and they're feeling a little self conscious. So they decided, you won't hurt my feelings again. I'm not going to wear one of those speckled, god awful moo that I usually wear. She decided to wear something like almost looks like she's wearing a leotard, doesn't it? Something slimming, black, very slimming. Because I told you, y'all didn't hurt her little feelings. And so now she's wearing black and, you know, keeping her arms in real tight to try to create a vertical line that will distract from her orbit. but you all done hurt her little fat feelings. I told y'all leave her alone, but you wouldn't listen. Y'all just kept talking about her and making fun of her. And now she's all self-conscious with her little chubby self. Yep, she done got a little self-conscious because you all have been making fun of her um, and calling her Becky the Blob. Well, wearing black did take about, I don't know, maybe 30 pounds off of her. It is slimming. It is very slimming. I'm just glad I didn't make fun of her, that I maintained a certain monicum of respect and allowing you all to have your fun, but somebody has got to maintain decorum, and I feel obliged to do that myself. Not the grimace. And by the way, thank you for that, Legs. Yes, the grimace has gone emo. Absolute. Yep, the grimace has gone emo. Let's see here. Instead of all of those flamboyant tones that the grimace is used to, the grimace has gone emo. Gone is the old grimace. Enters the new. Yep. I just ain't got nothing better to do I? Well, you got to call these people out because they have been horrible to our faves, and so I feel obliged to call them out, to give them the what for. Wait, didn't I have something with let me see where, oh, there it is. Yeah, so you see she's not going to wear those loud colors anymore because y'all didn't hurt her feelings. All of those unnecessary patterns. Y'all didn't hurt her feelings. Now she's gone to basic black. Oh, what a surprise. Look who's on the tube. Is that Beatrice? Yes, it is. Beatrice, one of the York sisters, Princess Beatrice, is on the tube, and somebody snapped a photo of her. Now, I wonder if that guy, no, I don't think there's a royal protection officer. At least I don't think so. Maybe, maybe not. Well, yeah, I don't think she generally has a royal protection officer. Only if there's a big occasion, I think. Well, if she does, they're not visible. Now, during an interview on Fox News Sunday, Brett Baer asked Peter Buttigieg, Transportation Secretary, listen to this very closely. During the Fox News Sunday, Brett Baer asked Peter Buttigieg, the Transportation Secretary, why Tesla CEO Elon Musk had not been invited to the White House meeting on tailpipe emissions. Why was that? The Fox News host asked. Was it because Tesla is not unionized? Buttigieg patiently explained that the meeting was called to announce tailpipe emission standards and that electric cars don't have tailpipes. Damn you. They don't have tailpipes, stupid. See how desperate they are to, I got you. They're so desperate to got you. He had the nerve. See, when you hang around people that ain't too bright for too long, then all of a sudden you start losing it yourself. So being around Fox News, a Rupert Murdoch creation, responsible for dumbing down um, at least half of the United States, that would cause someone like Brett Baer to ask a stupid question like that. Did you not invite him because of the non-union workplaces, right? Now, I can't confess that I know a lot about the science, but there's a couple of things I know about electric vehicles. The EVs do not have engines, they have electric motors, right? They don't have engines, they have motors. The other thing I know is that they are zero emission. They are zero emission. The emissions happen someplace else. The batteries hold enough of a charge to move the vehicle. So you're not going to, if you see smoke coming out of the back of an electric vehicle, that's somebody that ain't long for this world. Okay? There should be no smoke coming out of an electric vehicle. And yet, Brett Baer had the nerves to ask why Elon Musk wasn't invited. Even the little baby is like, what the? That little baby is like, is you stupid? What the? As a matter of fact, as Black people, we just know. Even as children, we have that innate ability to see BS and to give the look. That's just something we're born with. And then even as we get older, we're still throwing the look. It's just something in our DNA. Along with protection from the ultraviolet rays of the sun, we also have that sixth sense and know when to give the look. See what I mean? It just comes natural. So I'm not saying that other people don't have their own thing, but amongst the Africans descent people, we were just born with that look. And if we're not looking, then we're probably saying things like, like this.
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
You know what I'm saying? If Nina Simone was the transportation secretary, I have no doubt that she would have interrupted Brett Baer and his inquiry about, why you didn't ask Elon Musk to show up. She would have just said,
Sit down.
I have no doubt about it. Or there's another possible reaction. Like when you like when you smell barbecue in the middle of the night. There's another reaction.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right? Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, Brett Baer. But of course, in these modern times, people of African descent have assimilated so much into so many non-African societies that sometimes we can be real Karens. You know what I'm saying? We can be just as Karen as the best of them.
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
So yeah, we're not above calling the popo when somebody says something so stupid. So yeah, that is what they call what do you call it? Integration. Deborah Anderson, thank you so much for the super sticker. And Lizzie34, thank you very much for the super sticker and for being a member of Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciate it. But yeah, so I just thought I would share that with you because seeing is believing. If I would have just mentioned it to you, you may not have believed that anybody could be found wanting in their character like that. But like I said, it's Fox News. That's the same network that was sued for $1.5 billion and settled for $787 million. A number I remember because, well, that's the same as the Dreamliner, 787. Okay. But I just think most people, their reaction was just laughter. That's the only thing you could do is just laugh at something so ridiculous. Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me see here. Oh, I have it. Or do I? Huh, I guess I don't. Wow, where could that be? Oh, well, never mind. Oh, what is that one? Okay, so I think I'm just about done, you all. Oh, there they are. Yeah, that is a very, very good reaction. So, let me see here. Trump was fired by 81 million people, according to the Vice President Kamala. Now, we're going to end with a quote. I haven't done these very much lately, but I just going to throw this one in there. I am not perfect. I say stupid things sometimes. I laugh when I'm not supposed to. I have scars left by people who did me wrong. I'm a little crazy and probably won't change. Love me or not, but I make one promise that if I love you, I do it with a full heart. And with that, I am going to say thank you and good night. Love you so much. Good morning to some of you. But yeah, that's just the way it is. You have to love with a full heart. So take a screenshot if you like. Anyway, thank you so much, moderators, for keeping this the safe space that it has been and continues to be. Shout out to the Mod Squad. All right. See you all tomorrow.